All right, our next candidate is Peter Panetta. We're going to pick up Peter and head for a ride and see what his plans are for the mayor's office as we continue on with politicians in the car. It's been fun. We've learned a lot, that's for sure. Lots of great conversations. Lots of interesting ideas as things start to heat up and the online voting starts. And this is what it all comes down to. But a good chance for you to learn a little bit more about all of the candidates. Especially because there hasn't been many debates or otherwise for you to learn. It's good to learn this stuff before you head to the polls or head to your phone to vote on the polls. Lots of traffic today. All right, let's get Peter.
Front or back?
Come on in.
All right, man.
Lots of room for you.
Give me a little room.
Yeah, make you some space.
I'm just gonna take this off, get comfortable.
Get comfy. We got the heat on.
Hey, cool.
We're good to go.
Right on. What nationality are you?
I'm Italian.
Hey.
Am I in trouble?
No. So am I, dude.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm all right. This is fun. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, hey, this is my. Oh my God, I'm on.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
Hi.
Yeah, you're everywhere. You're like a
Let
somebody.
me put that belt on.
You better put
Otherwise
the
it's gonna
belt
look
on it.
pretty
I can't afford a ticket. It wouldn't look good on the video either.
No kidding.
So how you been?
Doing fine.
How's the campaigning?
Oh well, it's a one-man show, so
Well,
I can
that's-
only do so much. I don't have much money, so forget the signs; they're way too expensive.
Oh, that's for sure.
So I tried social media as best as I can. I'm
Yeah.
not very, knowledgeable, but there's a few guys that have told me, "Hey, try this group, try
Yeah.
that group," and just to get the message out there.
I've seen some of your stuff out
Oh,
there.
have you? Okay, cool.
So what made you do this?
Oh, what made me do this?
Where do you
Have
start? It's probably quite
exactly.
a list, right?
Well, I've always been somewhat passionate about, not somewhat, very passionate about the underprivileged of our society, and hence, the underground gym.
Right.
So, this thing in February will be 20 years it's been running.
Wow, that long?
Well, I'm not saying that to get, accolades or anything. It's to tell you that it was bad then. I don't even know, tenfold worse today. So something's wrong. Something is wrong.
It's not getting any better,
No.
is it? No.
And our focus needs to be in that area. We need to have a well-balanced community, and we're not having that.
When you started the underground gym that many years ago, what was it that drove you to come? Obviously, it's to help people out, get them something to do, keep them active, get them off the streets, and
Build
have a
some
place,
self-confidence, some
and a place to hang
self-esteem.
out, right?
Yeah, just a safe place. And initially it was the underground gym. Now, so yeah, I'm a fitness guy, so of course that's what I'm going to provide. But oh my God, the needs were huge.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what I was doing. They come to me hungry. I used to go buy lunch and meat and bread and buy juice boxes and feed, but that wasn't enough. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to teach them life skills too. So we built a little kitchen, and so we taught them how to cook. And then the teenagers,
How did you do all of this? You don't.
I'm just, you don't know me, man. I can do whatever I want.
but this is an expensive thing.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I did it cheap. I got those buildings for $200.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they were.
Oh, wow.
They were on back taxes. You bid on them. They were so bad that nobody bid on them. I should have bid $2. That was stupid. I just spent $198 for nothing. Anyway, so I got them. They were completely dilapidated. But so I spray painted a sign on the front there saying underground gym opening soon. So the neighborhood people wanted to know what the hell I was doing. So I said, well, here's what I want to do, and of course. And so they said, well, can we come and help?
Wow.
I said, sure, man.
There you go.
So they came, they started getting rid of all the old video machines that were in there. There was a laundromat on the other side there. So anyway, yeah, it took us about a year, and I got friends that are plumbers, and
nice.
Because there was no water, there was no electricity, there was nothing. Like electricians came in.
That's why the building was $200.
Exactly. Big hole in the ceiling, water just pouring down. Well, right now it's the same thing. I really shouldn't say this in public, but it's pretty bad.
But listen, you created a space though.
Yeah, I did.
That without the help of some friends, you would never be able to do it. So how do you keep it going for this long? and still be able to do the life skills and feeding people that need it. And
well, how do I? What are you talking about financially?
Yeah,
Well, financially, there's no core support. I believe it or not, I have to pay the city to keep this thing going. So I got to pay them hydro and all that stuff. I've probably given them, well, I've had not given them my money, but donated money, well over $100,000 to the city to keep this thing going, to keep city kids off the streets. That's where our city council and the mayor, that confuses me. Okay, so very, very difficult for me to understand that. It was the same in Winnipeg. I had an underground gym there too. Very successful, unbelievably successful. We asked the city for $21,000 to pay the rent and to pay utilities. They found an odd funding source that lasted less than a year. And then that was it. They wouldn't give us no more money. We were averaging 50 kids a night in there, right next to the north end where all the crime is. And politics to me confuses me. But you put a guy like me in there, now you're talking about a real guy with real passion and an
understanding, right?
Exactly. And I'm there. I live it.
So have you ever approached the city to support the gym?
Oh, I did. They gave me such a runaround. It was unbelievable, and all the stuff that was attached to it. And I said, finally, I just gave up on them. I said, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm checking out. And my theory was that, either people support this thing or it's going down. And it's been running perfectly on a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. Sometimes we get a nice chunk of money. I just got a nice chunk of money, actually, from Resolute. But so this is, and it's been going ever since. And it's never been closed. At our location, we've been there 15 years, never ever been closed. So it tells you something about our community. They really do believe that the kids need this.
Your struggle then is, why you're running for mayor is to bring that connection from city council to the streets where people need the help.
Exactly.
They're disconnected.
Totally. And when I see, for example, homeless people sleeping in my old van in the back of the underground, sleeping in the bushes because it's overgrown there, so they sleep in it. And I'm not talking about just the summer, I'm talking about the winter as well. That's absurd. When you have that sort of thing, it's just being neglected and put under the rug, and let's not worry. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I see the drug addicts that are in the area. I'm right there.
Yeah.
That drug addicts, prostitutes, and on and on and on. That we need to collectively, as a community, do something about it. And the crime as well.
Why haven't we up to now, Peter? Why do you think?
Because their focus is on other things, like event centers and leaky roof at Victoriaville. And the hell with material things. Put them in a priority where they fit. Humanity is where we need to really focus on.
So you see this stuff every day. You live it every day.
I do.
I've talked to other candidates about the social issues. The root of 90% of what you're seeing every day is mental health and addictions.
And poverty. Don't forget poverty
overall, right?
Yeah, of course.
So what can we do? If you're the mayor at the end of the month, what is it that you're going to be able to bring to the table that's going to switch those attitudes to help instead of hurt?
Well, let's start with our next generation. Let's start with our children and our youth. Okay, that should be the priority.
Right.
So you engage these youth in activities such as that concept that I'm doing, and you have them spread out all over the city, because I've got people biking. I've got a boxer biking in from the res to the underground, and he's a competitive boxer.
Wow.
So I've got people biking from Northwood. I'm picking up kids at Academy to bring them down to the underground because they have no access. This is absurd. There should be facilities all over this city accessible to these youth. Okay? Now, we don't have that, unfortunately.
Right.
So that is number one. Number two, what is wrong with trying to find jobs for these youth? They need to find jobs. How do they get jobs? Well, there's the private sector. I would like to see, let's take my area, Simpson Street. Why don't we lower the taxes, incentives to get small business to open up
Just little things. You don't need. Yeah.
No, we don't need the. You know who the hell's going to come to? Who is going to come to Thunder Bay with the reputation of crime that we have? You think they want to come here? It is a tough sell.
Yeah.
We need collectively to get together and do something about. Take the old West, the old Westerns. Remember when the bad guys came into town and took over the city or the town?
Yeah.
And then the townspeople were all deputized and they kicked them the hell out of there.
That-
That's what we need to do.
That's right.
We need to collectively do this. You can't just blame our police force. You can't blame the politicians. We need to think positive. Together, we can do something about that. I know we can. I mean, I believe we can. My God, we're over 100,000 people.
There should be something.
Exactly.
Now, I have a little bit of history on this street. We're on Simpson Street now, just coming past your
and look at my neighbors. Just park over here for a second.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something. May I just say one thing?
You can say anything you want.
Okay.
This is your time.
Let's look at there's one right there. She just came by the other day to the gym, and she's a drug addict, this girl, and a prostitute. She came in. She needed food, so I fed her. She dropped a needle on her way out. She dropped a needle on the way out, unfortunately, and one of the little kids found it. Thank goodness he didn't pick it up. Okay?
Yeah.
So he told me about it. He said, Peter, there's a needle out there. So here's the demographics, John, of this little tiny area. So you've got Peter, who is trying to do as much as he can for those children.
Right.
Next to me, my close neighbors are the Hells Angels.
Okay.
Right over here is a street reach ministry that is trying to save souls.
Right.
There's two over, another religious group called The River. I have no idea who they are, what their denominations are. It must be some newfangled thing. I don't know. And guess what's in between both of those? A crack house right there.
Come on.
Right
here.
Right here. It's right there. That girl just came out of there. So there's the demographics of my little area. You got, it's just, it blows my mind.
Well, it's sad that it's, I hate to say this, but it's sad and it's right under our nose.
Not under my nose.
Well, it's right there.
It's right in my face.
It's every day.
It is. And you know what? It's unfortunate. You start going down Mackenzie there at nighttime, see how many prostitutes are there on the corner. Okay, your history.
A little bit of history on this street. Probably 25 plus years ago, I was a part of the working with the Simpson Street BIA.
Okay.
There was a great group of business owners that wanted to get together to clean this up. So they came up with all kinds of initiatives, including the fronts of the buildings. They were going to give funding for landscaping and for building renewal and all kinds of stuff. And so part of the plan was to plant these trees, put up these nice light posts, the ability to put some signs on them, and just kind of bring the culture back to the street, because this is a historic street in our city.
It is, yeah.
So much happened on this street. It was an important part. So when that group did all of this work, I was kind of inspired by it all. But then nothing happened. If anything, it got worse after that. Because now we have these beautiful trees and these great street lights, but nobody's moving back in here.
No.
Is the reputation too far gone on this street?
Oh, you got a good point. You do have a good point.
Historically, I think the reputation... When I was a kid coming down here on my way to the East End, there were businesses that were thriving down here. And I'm not that old.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the reputation.
We do have... This area does have a bad reputation.
So how do we fix it?
Well, we need to spruce it up again. We need to bring small business, all these dilapidated, look at right here, right beside there.
Yeah.
Look at, they're all, that's typical of Simpson Street. Okay, we need to make it an Osborne village like in Winnipeg.
Well, because you can bring the history back to it.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to have some pride in the area. And then when you've got that, but you've got a lot of run-down houses and buildings and apartments and that, and poverty, it's poverty-stricken in this area. Okay.
Even deep into the area, not just on this main street.
Yeah, of course. Of course, the East End and this, Mackenzie area and all these side streets that are going down. So even that, you know, like I mean, if we're going to talk taxes, let's talk taxes decrease for beautifying and increase for crap.
How much are you paying there?
Zip.
No taxes.
A registered charity.
Nice.
Hey, I wouldn't have survived if I would have had to pay the city taxes on top of all the utilities.
Now,
you know?
so are the taxes on this street reasonable, or are they?
You know what? I honestly don't know.
It's interesting though,
Yeah,
right?
it is interesting.
If they were lower, you might encourage more small businesses.
I would think you would encourage businesses. I mean, somebody that wants to open up a little clothing shop or a perfume shop, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter what. Some specialty stores, if they're given incentives,
a reason. Yeah.
Tax incentives. Say you pay the first 2 years, we'll give you the third for free, or whatever. I don't know, just anything
to help them survive.
So then now you're hiring youth to help beautify this area and employed. Now I know my youth, when they have a job, it's a whole different.
Well, their lives change because it's confidence. There's so much more.
Oh my God, they got their own money. Now you're going to cut down on robberies. You're going to cut down on all this, you know, trying to scam money from wherever, or drug dealing, which is profitable from what I understand. Very profitable. But you know, the fact that you've got a job, you feel good about yourself. You say, hey, I'm going to work today. You got a little uniform, or you put on a jacket or something. You know, it just makes you feel better. Yeah. I know my kids feel a whole lot better.
You see a difference
in them. My God, they come in and they feel so good. They feel proud. They say, Peter, I got a job.
Yeah.
And I say, good for you. But what I really want, what I really push, is education. I really push the education.
To stay in school.
Stay in school and get yourself, go to college, university, doesn't matter what. And I've got a really good connection with the Native Access Program.
Okay.
90%, I should let you know, 90% of my kids are Aboriginal kids, Indigenous kids, Ashni, and Anishinaabe kids. Oh my God, that's a tongue twister.
It's a tough one.
Because now there's all these different politically correct terms.
Right.
Hey, they're the original people, and that's what I'm going to call them.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, 90%. So you know, with the Native Access Program, I brought them up there, the teens, and tried to plant the seed, and it's working.
Nice.
It is working.
You know what? It's just that little bit of help some people need, right?
That's right. And I'd like to see more of that. You know, like the underground is not necessarily. I wouldn't even call it a youth center.
Well, it is a youth center, though.
It is and it isn't.
Full service.
Well, yeah. So we do have, you know, and it's a volunteer-based organization. So, and I hate that word, organization. I shouldn't use the word. I don't like that word either. I do not. I don't consider it. I consider it a family. The underground is a family.
Absolutely, it is.
So you know, when I started this 20 years ago, and I had a 15-year-old that joined me back then, they're still welcome, because once a member, you're always a member at the underground. So they come back, and a lot of them come back to help me with the kids, and then they feel welcome. This is part of the family, and we all support each other, and there's mentoring going on. It's just a cool concept.
So your model here is showing that even these little things make a difference in these lives.
Huge.
And that if we could all get together, we could fix a lot of this.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
But what do you think? The buildings, to me, the buildings down here have always been very sad, because there's a lot of historic buildings in here.
Yeah.
That probably have some really cool things in them.
Oh, no doubt.
That, you know, that the history and the things that this street represents for this city is huge.
Yeah.
But you know, we're dealing with a population now. Would you say, in all of your time doing this, would you say that the population and the trouble, whether it be social or mental health or addictions, down here are worse than they were before, or do we just know about them more now?
Well, like I told you earlier, when I first started the underground, and I had those issues to deal with at the time, and now it's worse. So there's your answer.
It is worse.
Yeah, it is worse today. It is worse.
Where do you think that came from? How do you think it got worse?
Well, that's a good question. I think you know, what's happening is there's not as much opportunity and you know what? If you're talking about the original people, the racist issue is unbelievable here in this city. Even when I take a group of kids, like tonight we're going horseback riding. There's a sponsor at in Morello that's been sponsoring us for 12 years. Grace Equestrian Center. Carolyn has been phenomenal with my kids.
Wow.
She brings them out at least twice a year, and the kids are the connection between kids and animals is unreal. Anyway, the reason why I tell you this is that there's so. And then after that, we're going to go to McDonald's. I'm going to take them for a treat. I usually do. So, but I've seen it in different places. I take my kids, and like I say, 9 out of 10 of my kids are the original people. Mm-hmm. So I see the racism even from behind the counter. I see it in people when they're waiting, they step back away from the kids. They don't want to even be near them. And I'm going, wait a minute, they're children.
Yeah.
They're children. They're no different than any other kid. In fact, racism really, to me, confuses me because I am an Italian, born and brought up in France, and came to Canada, lived on Crown Street, where there was Finns, Germans,
everybody mixed together,
Finlanders, even the original people were there too. They were there, and wow, we were just kids wanting to be kids. We were just having fun. We didn't care what color you were, what nationality you were.
Right.
So what? And you know what? What I don't understand is when you're involved in a different culture, you're learning things, you're growing, you're seeing things from a different perspective. That, instead of this narrow-minded, that's all you know is your way. So when I've traveled a lot of the world and a lot of poor areas of the world, and oh my God, I came back so enriched, so much seeing people, how they deal with things, how they cope with things, how they are with their families, with their kids, how they adapt, and all this. I'm going, oh my God, like, this is beautiful. It's nothing I've seen in Canada like that. Mm-hmm. So what is this racist stuff? If you can actually, and I would like to see this, I would like to see families get together, the original as well as the non-original. Get together, let's go have a barbecue at your, come to my place, have a barbecue, let the kids play together. Let's not talk politics. Let's just talk about, the baseball game or the hockey game, the weather. Let's just get to know each other a little bit. I'll tell you, I promise this, you do that, you will see. You will see that there is no difference. There really is no difference.
But now this, the racism is something that the city is trying hard to work on.
Yes.
There are initiatives, there are plans in place, and committees and studies, and we're working hard on it.
Should just keep it simple, man. Never mind this
You
committees.
you think?
Yeah, well, keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Get them to mingle. Get everybody to mingle. Even organize something. The city organizes something where we all mingle together, and like you have, specific festivals. And it's 90% whatever that festival is, that's what you're going to get. No. You have a mingling thing, where everybody gets together and just gets to know each other. I promise it. I've been involved with that culture for so many years. I've never seen a more beautiful culture in my life. Personally, it's unbelievable.
But you have to learn about it, right?
Of course. And so, hatred. You can't hate if you understand.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's
because
well said.
You can actually get to. Now, you can only hate. And to me, there's a difference in people. Yes, there is. Of course there is. But don't go by race. Don't go by color. Don't go by any of this. Go by their attitudes. Either they're just mean people or they're not. And you're going to get them in every culture.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what. So don't be stereotyping, because that don't work.
It doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. You're going to ask me something.
I brought you here on purpose.
I knew that.
This is Cam River Park, along the shores of the Cam River. Mm-hmm. This, to me, is one of the saddest wastes that we have. It is such a beautiful spot.
It is.
The boardwalk is amazing. There are countless spots for boats to tie up here. Don't even get me started on this via train. It's a complete waste of money. But anyway, the James Whalen is here. That beautiful sculpture is here. This is another one of those places in town, Peter, that has a terrible reputation that is undervalued by the community, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's completely undervalued because people don't want to come here.
No. And why? You know why?
Because it's scary.
Exactly.
But how do we take these kinds of gems, do you think? Because this really, for people who have never been down here, some people don't even know how to get here.
Yeah.
Because of the reputation of this spot.
Yeah.
But how do we change that attitude about these sections of town that you're so prominent in? How do we change the attitudes to get people more involved?
Well,
if you're the mayor, what kind of things are you going to do to make people appreciate these spots and try to change the attitudes?
Now, I haven't done any studies, but I would like to see the concept that they have in Duluth, where they have that boardwalk that
Canal
goes
Park all the way through.
I would like to see that here. Go, let's get it right to the marina. Is there a way of doing that?
Connecting
this to the marina, so we have a huge.
It's a long walk.
So what? Use rollerblades or get on a bike.
But even just to connect to the lake would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Connected to the lake. You know what? Yes, it is scary in this area here. I used to bring my boy here. He's 37 now, so 30 years ago. And it didn't look like this, but I used to bring them, and we used to call it, let's go throw rocks in the water.
Yeah.
So we used to jump on one of those little boats there and throw rocks in the water. Even back then, they were crazy. The stuff that was going on here was nuts. The alcoholics that were here, that was 30 years ago.
So they've tried.
Yeah.
They've tried here.
Yeah.
It's still a beautiful spot, and I wish more people would come down to enjoy it.
Well,
but
let's connect it. Let's see if we can find a way to connect it to the marina. And if you do, just like Boulevard, please have two walkways. One for shoes and one for wheels.
Yeah. Safer.
The reason why I say that is because I'm a rollerblader, I'm a biker, and my God, when I come up behind somebody and I go by them, they're shaking their fist at me, and I try to warn them that I'm coming. No, we should have a separate.
You need a little bell.
Yeah, or I yell out there.
Just yell.
Anyway.
So these kinds of things then, in your mind, listen, you're running for mayor for a reason.
Yeah.
You want to win. You want to be able to make those differences and those changes.
Yeah.
But getting the message out is tough. So, that's what these things are for, is to get that message out.
That's cool.
But do you think that maybe with this, there's going to be a new mayor, there's going to be new at-large councillors, there's going to be several new ward councillors.
Yeah.
That we kind of have a fresh start a little bit.
Well, you know what? I've been noticing who's running. I'm going to be frank about this.
Absolutely, that's what this is about.
Peter, but
you can be frank as much as you want.
You know what? When people know I'm Italian, they forget my name. They call me Frank
Just call you
automatically
Frank.
because I'm an Italian.
And we're practically related.
Yeah, no kidding. So, what are these guys doing after 3, 4, 5 terms? What are they doing? Give it up. Let's have some fresh ideas. This is 2018. Come on.
But
what are they doing?
Could that be the reason why we're stalling here? They're falling
They're
behind?
very stagnant.
Yeah?
Very, very stagnant.
I think that's fair.
They don't have any fresh ideas, and so let's put some new people with new, fresh ideas. Let's bring it up into the 21st century.
Now, the last time, and I've said this to all...
There you go, right there. Angus for mayor.
The last time I've said this to all of the other candidates so far.
Yeah.
Is that the last time there was major change around the council table, we had some significant issues here. We had some big problems. They didn't work well together. They had a lot of issues with administration. So I think that there's a certain sense that people don't want to shake it up too much because they're worried about what they're going to get.
Well, you know what? If you like my concept, then vote like-minded. If you're going to vote councillors, then vote with councillors that want to deal with the same issues.
Right.
The youth, the poverty, the homelessness, and on and on and on. Trying to build a united community, and then try to work on the crime issue because it is really bad. Crime is unbelievable.
So what do they need to do? Do we need more funding for Thunder Bay Police?
No. It's about togetherness. Yeah, the Thunder Bay Police need to. Let's look at some of their focus. Speed traps. Why? Put up cameras like Winnipeg. They work exceptionally well. Yeah. Let's take our police and get them to focus on the high crime areas. Okay, so there's a constant vigilance all the time. So the criminals they're always on their toes because the cops are always buzzing around all over the place, and that's going to make them a little more edgy and reluctant to have freedom to do whatever they want. This this is where I'd like to see the police focus.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you think adding more funding to help them out would help?
You know what? I haven't done any research on that to see where that where it's at right now. Is that where it's all about? I think collectively, even as a community, when you see things that just aren't right, don't be fearful. Together, we can open it up a little bit and let the police know that this is going on, that is going on, so they can get on top of it right away before something major happens. You know.
Well, it seems to be getting a lot rougher now, and that's what's scary about it.
Well, you've got the gangs that have moved in. We all know about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they know there's big money in Thunder Bay. There's huge amounts of money in Thunder Bay. So they're fighting for supremacy here.
There's a reason they're here.
Of course,
they wouldn't be coming here if they weren't successful.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and they're recruiting younger and younger and younger. So
you see this at the gym?
I do. I'm not going to open up on that too much because, you know, even some of the members that have been prior underground have now become involved in that, you know, that
must be hard. That must be hard.
Very difficult. Very difficult for me. I've got huge success and then huge, I wouldn't call them failures, because
people that went the other direction.
They went the other direction. Unfortunately, that's a tough one for me because it's like I lost a child. You know what I mean?
That is rough, eh?
It is rough because you see them. Some of them have been with me literally for 10 years. They're with me all the time. I'm like a surrogate. I was going to say surrogate father, but surrogate grandfather now with my gray hair. Like,
do you still run into them?
Oh yeah, lots. They come back to see me. I've got second generation kids coming to the underground.
Yeah, but the ones that have fallen back in trouble, when they
still come back.
When they come back,
they'll come to see me. Yeah, they still come to see me. And a lot of them have said to me, "I regret not having stayed here." They left.
Sometimes they get stuck and they're.
Yeah, and you never underestimate cool. Never, because Peter's place is cool, but the streets can be even cooler. You know, and more profitable.
Yeah.
So, with my approach, it takes longer to achieve, you know, success, whereas financial success can be achieved pretty quick on the streets. You know.
Yeah,
so
especially because there's opportunity.
Absolutely, and there are opportunities. You're right.
So you touched on previous counselors and a bit of a stagnant group that's around the table now.
Yeah.
In this last term of council, we have a new mayor coming, so we have new leadership. What do you think needs to be done in council to get that group to see the things that you see every day, that get them on the same page with poverty?
They're coming for a little walk with me.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they're
wow.
gonna come for a walk with me. They're gonna go see where the homeless people are sleeping. They're gonna see the hungry that come into the underground to eat, that are not youth. They're gonna come and take a little walk with me at nighttime and see the drugs, the prostitution. They're gonna have to be exposed to it.
Do you think exposing that though does more harm than good?
No, it does more good than harm.
You think
I totally disagree. Totally, because
does it scare people more maybe?
Well, you know what? They have a right to be scared. You know what? Crime is not, well, it's starting to touch the suburbs, but it hasn't really, you know, infested the suburbs yet. But when it does, and it will at this pace, people are going to start worrying. They're going to be scared. And we should nip it now. And you should realize that there is a problem. Don't be hiding behind your whatever lifestyle that you've got and think that it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. Yes, they need to be exposed. Yes, we need to be, and a guy like me I actually know them on a first name basis.
Well, I was just going to say, you have a different connection.
A totally different connection. Come with me and come and meet them.
Do you feel safe?
That's an interesting question. I do and I don't, because I know that I'm okay with whatever's going to happen with whatever situation I get involved in. But I know that, you know, once you have mental health issues, you've got when you're high, super high on drugs, that you're not the right you're not thinking the same.
Right.
So they see Peter, but they might see something else too. You know what I mean?
So that part scares you a little.
I'm not scared. No, I'm not. I'm not scared. But I know the possibility is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not scared. If I was scared, I'd never do what I'm doing.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, there's no way.
You'd have to be pretty strong to be able to get through that every day.
No. I've been immersed in it for too long, and I know exactly the whole shebang and everything else.
So your first job then as mayor is going to be putting everybody on a little bus, dropping them off downtown, and going for a walk.
We're going to walk not down. Well, if you call that area downtown, they're coming in my little neighborhood there. I don't live there, but that's the neighborhood that I I hang out in. And yeah, they need to know that we need to do something about this. We have to. We have to take care. Okay, you tell me, when you build a house, if you've got a crummy basement, how long do you think that house is going to last?
Yeah.
We got to take care of the base of our society. Once you build up that base, the next generation, if we take care of the next generation, they are going to be
They're the
stable.
ones that are going to fix it.
They're going to fix it, of course.
Yeah.
We have to take care of them. We have to educate our children as well as our youth, but our children on the street cancer that's out there.
Right.
They have to be educated so they know to watch out for this, watch out for that. They have to be educated.
I just wonder sometimes why we haven't made the effort to learn these things up to now. Why did it have to get this bad?
It's been, you know what, there's Band-Aid solutions constantly have been forwarded over the years. People are satisfied with that. You know what I mean? They are. There's such good rhetoric out there. The politicians are good at it. They're doing it today. It's well-rehearsed rhetoric, and I hear it, and I know exactly what they're doing. But the general public does not. I'm not saying they're being conned or anything. No, they just accept it, because it sounds good.
Yeah.
It sounds real good.
But now that crime is starting to trickle into those other neighborhoods, that's where people are now starting to pay attention.
Right. And I think I am in a position to do the best job to take care of not only the crime, take care of our youth, which I know a lot that have come, hundreds and hundreds of kids have come through the underground and continue to come through. So, and I know what works.
Yeah.
I've been successful for 20 years, so it works. And the kids that come to me, the majority of them are very successful. Yes, there's the odd one. It's like, you can't get them.
Everything.
You can't
Sure.
get them. But I know what works, and I want that. And then we become a solid community. We have a future, united future, where there's quality of life for everyone, and that's what we need to do. We need to deal with the human issue.
So beyond the roads and the taxes and all of that, the focus needs to be on people.
Totally. Absolutely.
Peter, I'll be honest with you, I haven't heard that a lot in these little trips. I haven't heard that. And the way that you're explaining it and educating people at the same time on the things that are needed is really important stuff. It's really important.
I really believe it is, and believe me, John, that's why I'm running. Why do you think I'm running so this dude here can have more business or whatever? This guy's loaded that owns this building, and you know who he is. So he does not need to be continuing this.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. You know what? Just give it up. They're not going to build a statue of you in front of City Hall if you've ran 4 terms, so give it up. Give it up.
I don't think I want a statue.
Oh my God. Not you.
No.
I'm talking
if
about
I was the politician, I wouldn't want the statue.
Or name a street after you.
Look what they do with
the
statues. They turn them into...
I'm uglier than that statue, so I'm not too worried about that.
Fantastic. You'd make a great statue.
John, listen, look at my hair, look at my beard and everybody. You know what people said to me? Are you nuts running for mayor looking like that? Clean yourself up. That's what they told me. I says, I am who I am. You're not going to get nothing phony out of me, man. That's just the way I am.
That's, you know what, and you're pretty knowledgeable and very well spoken, so they can judge all they want.
And they do. They said
absolutely.
people do judge.
Absolutely.
They look at you and they say, that guy doesn't even take care of himself. And I'm not voting for that guy.
That's why you should have had more signs with your picture on it. Like
no,
big
did
pictures.
You see my picture?
Even better. More the better. This is what you're all about, though.
Oh, yeah, I know, but people aren't like that. People like this suits. Go look at the other politicians. Look at their pictures. Look at the nice suits and all trimmed up, beautiful, big smile on their face. Come on, man. But people fall for that. They do. you know, it's the image. They love the image. They love that well-rehearsed rhetoric that's going on out there. You're gonna get down to earth stuff from me. That's all you're gonna get.
Why? Why wouldn't you run in the ward that the gym is?
Because this is the highest platform, and I wouldn't have got that if I didn't run for mayor. I wouldn't have got you.
That's true. I wouldn't have time for everybody.
There you go.
I don't have time for 100 candidates on this ballot.
And you know what? Go for the top. Everything I've done in my whole life. You don't know me, John, but if you ever knew the history of actually, I just put out a book. You know.
I heard about the book.
Yeah, cool.
I hear the first page is quite entertaining. We're not getting into it.
Oh no, we're not gonna get it. But anyway, my life, everything that I've done, I just go for the top. Like when my son and I was waiting for him to graduate from high school, and we took off and we started cycling, and we got through 24 countries together. We were going to go around the whole world.
What?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not playing around. Wow. I'm not playing around down here. I'm just going right to the top.
Wow.
You either take it or leave it. You want it, it's there. You don't want it. Hey, I gave it a shot, man.
What a fascinating life.
Oh, you don't know nothing, man. There's a ton of stuff.
That's why you have a book.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's only 2 years of my life. When I was a criminal. That's if you read the book. Well, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
Well, the book is based, and it's so ironic that I put this thing out since I started the Underground, because I've been doing this book for 42 years. I've been writing from the beginning. Wow. I mean, I haven't written for 42 years. Anyway, long story short, it's about, I call it punk because in the 60s when you were a punk, you're trying to be somebody you're not. And that's what I was trying to be. I was a highly religious Italian altar boy, wanted to be a priest and the whole thing. Then I ran into this dude, the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life. Criminal, but he impressed me. I was awed by this guy. I wanted to be him. Mm-hmm. So I got to know him, and I got into the world of crime with him. But as you read on in the book, these guys weren't playing games. I was. I loved the robberies. I loved all that stuff. But when they started hurting people, they raped women. They did all.
Oh, wow.
I said, that's it for me, man. I'm checking out. I can't do this. And it was not easy to get out. It was hard to get out. But I managed to get out through my now wife. I met this girl, and she's my wife today. She and I, together with our love, managed to get out of that lifestyle. So that's what the book's about.
What a story!
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story.
I gotta read the book.
Go buy it, man. And the money's going to the Underground.
Even better. I'll buy a couple.
There you go, man.
So, even just touching on that though, your life and your history has a different kind of knowledge base than other politicians.
Yeah, I told you, I don't come from a well-to-do family. We're immigrants, poor. When we were living in France, and this isn't, I'm not stretching it. This is true. We lived in a house that was condemned. There was no toilet. We had a pot, and there was mice. Mice or rats, but one of them got my brother's eye, and he's blind in one eye, bit him in the eye. I was brought up in extreme poverty. So when you have that kind of an upbringing, all of a sudden you start to realize that, wait a minute, you're a down-to-earth dude, man. Like, this is how I was brought up. So I feel for these people that
you understand it.
Of course, I was there, man. I was there. Of course, now I did manage to get a job and all this stuff. I shouldn't really say this. I'm not stuff I shouldn't say in public because I'm opening up too much about my life. But anyway, I'm trying to just do what I can to make a better society. That's all it is. A better community. That's really why I'm running. I'm not running so the Prince Arthur is beautiful or Victoriaville roof is fixed. Yeah, you can do all that stuff, but do it after you've taken care of the humans that are needed.
Well, Peter, you've been. This has been great. Certainly eye-opening. Absolutely, this is important stuff, and you know what? And that's why we're doing this, is to get these messages out.
That's cool. You know what? And I thank you for that, because you're going to give me some exposure that I can't afford to have otherwise.
That's what we do.
I can't.
Well, that's what we do. It's fantastic.
Thanks,
I'm glad you had the time.
I'm glad to know you too.
Well, now we can put it all together.
So what are you going to do with this thing?
We're putting it on our website. We're putting it on our Facebook page.
So visually, it's going to be on there.
You should have combed your hair.
Here, I should have.
You look like a bum, Peter.